Joining us on day 3 of the 13th World Wushu Championships here in Jakarta. Day 2 delivered as many thrills and excitement as we'd expect from a World Wushu Championships. The Sanda mat had some 40 bouts that took part in the 2 sessions. TKOs, everything you expect from high-level Sanda, and some 39 different nations competing as well. On the taolu mat, there was yet more success for local starlet Linswell as she picked up a double gold, and China started to flex their muscles as we all expected them to do. Let's have a look back at the events of day 2.
We start our roundup of day 2's taolu, where we left off yesterday, as Linswell made it a double by claiming gold in the women's Tai Chi Chuan. China flexed their muscles on day 2 as they took 4 gold medals of the 8 on offer. Xiao Xiaolai secured 1 in the women's Changshu. And an impressive performance from the phenomenal Sun Pei Yuan, who wowed the crowd here in Jakarta as he nabbed gold in the men's Changshuan. And history was made in more ways than one as we crowned our first ever world champion in the men's Dardao. That man was a delighted Amir Abdeltawab from Egypt.
Yeah, I feel good. It's first time to be here in Indonesia. It's first world championship for me. I feel very happy because I'm here with Captain Sharif Mustafa, and it's good. Feels so good.
Jeevan and Tony were treated to another day of spectacular action on the Sanda platform, and here was just a taster of what they witnessed.
Look at that.
Incredible stuff from day 2, as you can tell, and day 3 is all ready and set to get started at the Istora Senayan. On the Sanda mat, we're going to see the quarterfinals in both the women's and men's category. And on the taolu stage, new styles are being included into the event for the first time, including Bagua Zhang, so look out for that. All this to come on day 3 at the 13th World Wushu Championships.
China, Mr. Peter Ward from Great Britain.
Good morning and welcome to day 3 of the 13th World Wushu Championships. We are coming to you live from beautiful Jakarta, Indonesia. This is Mario Martinez and I'm here with Alan Tang, and we will be your commentators for Field 2 this morning. Today we have, for the first time at the World Wushu Championships, Bagua Zhang. Alan, it will be very interesting to see how our athletes adapt to this new traditional event.
That's right, Mario, and this morning we also have men's Nandao, which is the Southern Broadsword. And we have some of the top podium finishers from Nanshan all battling it out today for a repeat finish. China took the gold, however, they will not be fielding a competitor in this event, which could open up the podium for some other athletes.
In the Bagua Zhang event, we've got a total of 12 competitors. And in men's Nandao, we have roughly a field of 40 athletes.
Yeah, so quite a bit going on with the men's Nandao division. Like usual, we typically have a lot for the short weapons, as well as the traditional broadsword and the staff. And today is no different with that many competitors in the men's Nandao. But the first event that's going on is the women's Bagua Zhang. So that should be interesting as we see a whole new aspect to the traditional aspects of Wushu, or more commonly known as Kung Fu, Mario.
That's right. We saw a lot of really good competition events yesterday. We saw women's Strong Jian, double straight sword, which was the first traditional event that we saw in Arena 2. It was interesting to see the athletes adapt to these new traditional events. I think typically we have a lot of strong straight sword competitors. It looks like they made a fairly decent conversion to double weapons, but Bagua Zhang is a whole nother game on its own.
That's right. Bagua being an internal style, And obviously, the traditional events are judged without a C component score, so there's no difficulty elements in it. So what you're looking at is a much more detailed focus to the application and the traditional, so to speak, aspects of the style, the internal energy, the footwork, the accuracy of the strikes and the blocks, and with Baguazhang, very in particular, the stepping maneuvers and the circular 8 diagram, which is famous for the foot movements circling around.
Yeah, you'll typically see an extremely wide variety of techniques used in Bagua, including various strikes, palm, fist, elbow, finger strikes, kicks, joint locks, throws, and definitely, I think the distinctive footwork will really come into play. We'll see how these athletes adapt.
That's right. Bagua is not a striking or a grappling martial art. However, it's a mix of the two, and there's a lot of body movement involved. You'll see the athlete as they're actually marching out right now to prepare on a field, and we'll sit back and probably talk a bit more about the event as we move forward. The introduction of the traditional hand forms provide a great opportunity for some of the athletes to diversify themselves, because obviously they're not eligible to compete in both per se a Tai Chi or a long fist and as well Baguazhang, but they have to, so to speak, choose one or the other. So right now we're diversifying the field from strictly practitioners doing the elements of Tai Chi or long fist or Nan Chuan, and now we have a wider variety of another form of barehanded routine. And for those of you joining us in our arena number 1, we have the men's Dao Shu, or the broadsword, going on. And I believe Sanda is just about underway as well. So thank you for tuning in. This is Alan along with Mario. We're at arena field number 2 at the day 3 of the 13th World Wushu Championships here in Jakarta, Indonesia.
And before we get started here, also don't forget that you can also follow us at the IWF Instagram page. That's IWUF_official. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram. You can see great shots of the events going on. You can see pictures and videos and even some interviews, some behind the scenes stuff. You can also follow us on Facebook at IWF Official. First competitor, Mahan Katia from Algeria.
And although Baguazhang is new to the World Championships, it's obviously not a new event in the world at all. It's a very, very traditional event with long roots dating back many, many years to many great masters in the art form. And you'll see Mahan demonstrating some of the generic footwork movement and the circular movements of Baguazhang. It's commonly known as 8 diagram boxing. What's very important in this style of wushu is the grounding of the footwork, the composure of the posture to face your relative opponent.
That was Mahan Katia from Algeria. Now, Ellen, something that's going to be interesting to see, given that Baguazhang hasn't been used here at the World Wushu Championships, is whether the carpet is going to come into play with some of the stepping. I know that in China and abroad, many pro teams have the new competition carpet available, but we'll have to see if that comes into play here.
That's right, and especially with a lot of traditional events, we have a lot of practitioners of art that are used to training on whether it's hardwood floor or flat flooring, but definitely with proper training, bagua training your footwork, you should be relatively stable in either circumstance.
Mohan Katia final score 9.30. Our next competitor is from Singapore, Lin Ying Ho.
The athletes with the know-how, you'll see their breathing, the rhythm, and again with the facing and the relative body positioning to the hands is very, very important. The practitioner is depicting how to circle an opponent and how to maneuver their body around them.
That was Lin Ying Ho from Singapore. Lin Ying Ho is a seasoned internal competitor. She was your gold Tai Chi Chuan compulsory gold medalist from the 12th World Wushu Championships.
So it's a much easier transition for Tai Chi Chuan athletes to transition into bagua.
Lin Ying Ho, final score 9.51.
I believe we're going to have a very tight scoring range in events such as this, as the judges themselves get their first glimpse at the performance of athletes in these traditional arts.
And our next competitor is Salma Ahmed from Egypt.
So as we mentioned in yesterday's traditional events, the bagua is judged based on a Group A and Group B judging component. So strictly on the technical movements and on the overall performance. So there is no difficulty components, which is why you'll see, like the Shuangzhen, many athletes choosing not to put any acrobatic or difficulty maneuvers into their routine and strictly focus on the footwork, the handwork, and the body positioning of the art form.
And there was a slight correction. It looks like we had a competitor drop. That was actually Zeynep Akutes with a 9.52.
And next we have Yanning Tan, or Vera Tan, from Singapore. She as well is a seasoned internal competitor. Let's see how her transition is into the Bagua Zhang style.
The next bout, women's 48 kilograms. In the red side, Junita from Indonesia. And from Asia in the left side.
As an internal art form, people who practice Bagua typically practice it for the purpose of health, recreation, and obviously the applications for it is for self-defense in nature as well. So much like the Tai Chi style, you'll see a lot of movement which is very graceful, but like the Chen style of Tai Chi, there's a lot of explosive movements as well. You'll see a series of palm movements. And as the name states, there are 8 particular stances or stepping patterns for the lower body, which is why it's called 8 diagram boxing.
Vera Tan's final score, 9.53, putting her currently at first. Our next competitor is Tania Sakanaya from Brazil.
Final score 9.36. Third one, Julian San Leo. Competitor 5 to enter the arena. Wu Hao Shan.
Leg side downwards.
And the 2 new bare hand routines in the traditional wushu, the Bagua for the women and the Xing Yi Chuan for the male, both are internal styles of wushu, comparable to Tai Chi.
That was Tania Sakanaka from Brazil.
So Mario, Bagua Zhang, as an internal style, I know that Jet Li made it very popular, using it as a style of his martial arts in a couple of his movies.
That's right. Bagua Zhang is actually not that big. You've seen it in a lot of modern media. Actually, it's airbending, and Avatar: The Last Airbender was modeled on Bagua Zhang, and in Jet Li's movie The One, one of Jet Li's character uses Bagua Zhang, while the antagonist uses a version of Xing Yichuan, which we'll see later.
Yeah, because as a martial arts style, Bagua really teaches a practitioner how to use their opponent's own aggressiveness or energy and use it against themselves. It's not a hard style, so what you're not doing is pushing power against power, but what you're doing is using flow and your redirection and moving your opponent where you want them to go. So the footwork and you'll see the body movements, very, very intricate and important in this style.
Score 9.02.
And currently on the field is Seyma Erhan from Turkey. That was Seyma Erhan from Turkey. From yesterday.
Both sides out of the buffer.
And really now implementing these new traditional, so to speak, kung fu styles into wushu competition, you're really expanding the variety and exposing the various elements of wushu to all different people who have followed the sport.
Seyma's final score, 9.55. And next from Hong Kong, we have Suijin Chen, who actually is our silver medalist from the first day's Tai Chi event.
Wushu being such a vast sport, there are actually hundreds, if not thousands, of different styles of traditional kung fu. And now we're finally seeing several of the main fields, such as Bagua and Xing Yichuan, placed back into international competition. And Suijin Chen, she's actually, you can see the explosive power as she takes her steps and delivers the striking movements with her palm.
Final score 9.02.
Very important aspect of Bagua.
Competitive 9 to enter the arena.
End of the second round. The winner for the second round is red side. We will continue to the third round.
A very nice performance by Suijin Chen. In slow motion, you see the explosive power in the delivery of the palm strikes. For those of you tuning in, this is Alan Tang and Mario Martinez. We're here at the 13th World Wushu Championships in Jakarta, Indonesia. Currently in arena number 2 with the women's traditional bagwajang, or 8 diagrams boxing. We have a field of 12 competitors here today.
Sujin Chen's final score, 9.56.
And that places her in second at the current moment. And currently we have Carissa Chan from the Philippines.
Carissa is also one of our very seasoned internal Tai Chi Chuan competitors.
Next side out of the platform.
That was Carissa Chan from the Philippines. Looks like we're coming up on the tail end of the competitors. We've got 3 more up. And then we'll be moving on into men's Nandao.
The Southern Broadsword event.
Final score for Carissa Chan, 9.52.
And next we have Joanna Lim from Australia.
Both sides out of the platform. And of the turns around. The winner for the third round is red side, winner decision. The winner for this bout is Junita Malo from Indonesia. The next bout, women's 48 kilograms. In the right side, Divini Wali from Philippines versus Arthur from Turkmenistan in the black side. The platform judge, Miss Novita from Indonesia. First round.
Final score 8.73.
That was Joanna Lim from Australia.
Black side down first. Black side down first. Black side down first.
Joanna Lim's final score, 9.54.
And our final competitor in this field, actually we have two more competitors. This is Diana Trazi from Kazakhstan. The winner for the first round is red side.
Final score 8.77. 最后的8.77。13号上场。
Diana's final score, 9.30. And our final competitor is from Egypt, Hager Farahat.
Second round. Black side down first. Black side down first. Black side down. Black side down first.
Very nice performance by Hager Farahat from Egypt.
Final score 9.50. Third vote, Jordan Wu. 14场上场，准备
And on the second round. The winner of the second round is right side, winner decisions.
Competitor 14 to enter the arena.
The winner of this round.
Hager Farhat's final score, 9.55, placing her in third place with a bronze medal.
And there we have it, the first women's Bagwajang, led by final rankings of Brazil, Hong Kong, and in third place is a tie between Egypt and Turkey. So let's see how they break those scores down. And we're off to our next event, Mario. Our next discipline is the men's Nandao, or the Southern Broadsword. We have a field of approximately 40 competitors here. And some of our medalists from the Nanshan event. So I think we're in for a real treat in terms of the level of performance in this event.
We've got former podium finishers from the last World Wushu Championships. We've got podium finishers from just yesterday's events. It's definitely going to be a great event to watch.
And first up, we have Mohammed Saleh from Palestine. Actually, that's a dropped athlete. Our first competitor is from Macau. Is going to be Wai Kong Choi.
Final score 6.92. Third vote, Liu and Dong Park. Competitor 15 to enter the arena.
In Nandao, like Nanshan, athletes are characterized with the importance of their footwork, their stances, short body movements, which translates in the Nando to very, very tight sword flowering and twining, what we call. But you saw in Wai's first few moves, he had a little bit of a stumble on that back reverse somersault or back tuck.
That's right. In a field of this many events, there we go. Another hand down. Those are going to cost them big points.
And as our first athlete, athlete from Macau, China, which is Wai Kong Choi, performing in the men's Nandao. Had a little trouble with several of his difficulty maneuvers. There he landed his outside 540. However, here This is his inside 360 landing.
Final score for Y, 8.59, and you can see the deductions on his jumps and the falls.
That's right, he missed his first back tuck, which costed him a bit, and that hand touching the floor after that inside jump kick. But as the first competitor, that sets the tone for this event. Next, we have a competitor from Ukraine.
Andriy Fehetsin.
Final score 9.21. 最后的分9点1 16号上场 Competitor 16 into the arena.
Outside 540-degree turn, followed by a back somersault onto a single butterfly stance landing. And there's a front snap kick into a gainer with a butterfly stance landing. So he is sticking quite a few of his difficulty maneuvers.
And as you'll note, athletes will typically front load many of their difficulty movements at the beginning of their forms, particularly in the southern styles, just based on the amount of power and effort that they have to expel throughout their performance. Usually makes it a little bit more consistent to be able to execute those movements at the beginning.
That's right. By the time you get to the third or fourth section of the routine, your endurances tend to be worn and much more harder to apply difficulty maneuvers at that point. But a very good performance here by Andriy. He should do well in terms of his difficulty component. Let's see how the judges rank him in the other areas. What you'll notice is a lot of the stances in the Southern style are a tad higher compared to the long fist.
Andriy's final score is 9.54.
And next we have Shane Kong from Australia.
End of the second round. The winner for this bout is from China.
A little trouble on that landing there. And what actually makes the back somersault difficult, or the back tuck in that landing, is the fact that you're landing in a butterfly stance. It's actually much easier to land upright than it is in that crouch position.
Final score 7.95.
The welcome judge, Mr. Benimo from Francis.
18号上场 Competitor 18 to enter the arena.
Standing jump front kick 180 to a single leg balance.
First round. Blades right down.
540-degree inside jump kick into butterfly stance.
There's a jump front kick to a single leg balance. Difficult maneuver to execute.
Especially trying to get that front kick over to shoulder height.
That's right. It's a low point value, but still very difficult. Final score for Shane, 8.71.
And as you can see, he did get 2 deductions for the kick being under the shoulder, and quite possibly it was on that maneuver.
Next competitor is Mario Martinez, not to be confused with your commentator.
Mario, how'd you get out there? This competitor is from Spain. There you see a big drop on his inside butterfly stance landing.
Final score 8.51.
An outside kick.
Competitor number 19 came to the arena to go on.
End of the first round. The winner for the first round is black side.
So it seems as though we have a few competitors that have dropped out of this event. However, next we're getting ready for a competitor from Macau, Zhenhua Huang. And the final score for Mario Martinez, 8.74.
Zhenhua was our 12th World Wushu Championships silver medalist in this event. He was actually also your silver men's Nanchuan medalist from yesterday's competition. It's a strong competitor.
Zhenhua Huang from Macau.
Strong opening.
Back somersault, single butterfly stance landing, followed by outside 540 rotation into horse stance. He had a little bobble there. And simple mistakes like that, in many instances, opens the door for many other athletes. At this level of competition, typically the first few places in podium finishings, you're looking at athletes with no mistakes in their routine. But very strong movements and stances by Zhen Huang. It's an inside kick fall, typical movement in the Southern style.
Final score 9.55. Jordan Wu. Competitor number 20 came to the arena.
An otherwise very solid performance by the Macau competitor here.
Right side down.
And his final score, 9.42.
Still a strong overall score. He's currently in second. However, you do see the deduction for that landing.
And it cost him both on the C score and as well on the Group A score.
Right, he received a deduction for a loss of balance.
And now we have a competitor from Canada. This is actually one of our very own, Philip Wong,
And on the second round,
in the Nandao event. He's from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
the winner for the second
And this
round
is the first event of the competition. And he lands his back somersault into a 540-degree outside kick horse stance landing. That's a 540-degree inside kick, followed by outside 360 horse stance landing. So a strong start for Philip. There we have the entire Team Canada cheering him on in the background.
Final score 9.43.
Into his final section.
Competitor 22 to enter the arena.
A good performance by Philip Wong.
First round.
Very strong score. Final score for Philip Wong, 9.59, currently placing him in first place. However, quite a few competitors to go in this tight field for the men's Nandao division.
Our next competitor is from Spain, Francisco Manzuecos.
There's a big fumble on the outside. One of the toughest components of the difficulty moves is sticking the landings. There's so much torque going on in your rotation that to suddenly stop in a stance or position, very, very tough. And a lot of competitors have that trouble with that 540-degree outside kick turn.
Final score 9.51. Athlete number 23 to enter the arena. Versus
That was Francisco Manzuecos from Spain.
For viewers back home and around the world, this is Alan Tang here with Mario Martinez at the 13th World Wushu Championships 2015 in Jakarta, Indonesia. We're streaming live in arena number 2, where we have the men's Nandao Southern Broadsword event going on.
Francisco's final score, 9.10.
And up next, who do we have, Mario?
We have Gevorg Yeritzian from Armenia. Few stumbles.
Second round.
Final score 9.36. Competitor number 24 to enter the arena.
That was Gevorg Yeritzian from Armenia.
And next we have from Malaysia, Manhua Ho. He's a bronze medalist in Nantran from yesterday's events, and as well a gold medalist from the 12th World Wushu Championships. So one of the higher ranked athletes on this field.
Gevorg's final score, 7.74.
Leg side down. Leg side down.
.540-degree landing in a single butterfly stance. Back somersault, single butterfly stance landing. And the outside 540 into an horse stance landing. Nice, strong difficulty combinations.
The main thing you want to look for in those butterfly landings is that the athlete lands immediately into that stance, that the heel is down and that the leg is completely flush with the carpet.
That's right, it's a single landing.
Mun's having no difficulty with any of these techniques.
No points.
Into his final run. That's the inside kick fall.
Final score 9.52. Competitor 25 to enter the arena.
Solid performance by the Malaysian athlete, Manhua Ho.
Leg side down. End of the second round. The winner for the second round is right side. Winner decisions.
Munhua's final score, 9.67, currently putting him in the top position.
Very strong score. See the good height on his 540-degree inside kick.
Next, we have Tahir Gassemi from Iran. You want to look for this competitor. He had a very strong performance yesterday. He's definitely going to be a strong contender in the future and potentially today.
The player contact Mr. Samson Ko from Philippines.
Back somersault.
First round.
Inside kick into a gainer. Single butterfly stance landing.
It's a very difficult combination.
Oh, little stumble on his 540-degree inside kick.
When you land a lot of these difficult combinations, you need to make sure that you hold it to make sure that you establish that you had control in the landing.
Final score 9.45. Competitor 26 to enter the arena. 26号上场。
That was Tahir Ghasemi from Iran.
Very good height on the back tuck. However, with that mistake he made on the kick, that places him only at a 9.30, good for 5th place so far in this field.
Right side down.
And up next, we have Poe Lai from Taipei. He had a very strong showing in the men's Nanchuan Southern Fist event. He came in 4th overall, but he came very close to a 3rd place finish. We'll have to see how he does in Nandao.
Right side down first.
Solid landings on all of his jumps.
End of the first round. The winner for the
A
first
good performance
round
by
is
Po Wai Lai from Taipei.
Final score 9.44. Number 27.
And a score of 9.64, placing him in 2nd place.
Second round.
And our next competitor from Mauritius is Mohammed bin Gadari. So it is Mohammed bin Gadari from actually Morocco. Oh, he has dropped. So my corrections, Mario. This is Nejari Amini from Algeria.
Now, in the Southern events, we still have men's Southern staff, so a lot of athletes may be strategizing and trying to save it for the last event.
No points. Both sides out of the platform.
Final score 9.
Nejari's final score, 9.02.
And up next, we have a Korean competitor, Youngman Lee.
Both sides out of the platform.
And Youngman Lee is actually the gold medalist from the men's compulsory Southern fist routines at the 12th World Wushu Championship. So definitely a strong competitor.
It's a nice landing for his 540. And having no trouble at all with his difficulty component so far.
And the second round. The winner for the second round is red side. Winning decisions.
And that's his 540 degree. Had a bit of trouble on that landing there.
Here Kim from Korea.
Like we said before, at this level of competition, you just can't afford to have any mistakes, especially in your difficulty movements, just based on the amount of point values that they carry.
That's right.
China versus Lucas Cristiano Queiroz from Brazil in the black side.
That was Youngman Lee from Korea.
There we see his jump inside into one step back somersault.
The platform is Novita from Indonesia.
And his final score, 9.43.
Still an overall strong performance, however, that stumble on the difficulty technique definitely cost him a point, and he was also given a point for a loss of balance upon the landing.
First round.
And who we have next is from the Netherlands, Xiaobao Tang.
Black side, 8 seconds passage. Black side down.
And don't forget, if you're watching us live, make sure that you're following us on Facebook at the International Wushu Federation IWUF Official. You can also follow us on Instagram at IWUF_official. We'll be posting pictures from the medal ceremonies, behind the scenes action, and a lot of action photos from Sanda and Taolu. That was Xiaobo Tang from the Netherlands. Xiaobo's final score, 8.25. Next competitor is from Turkey, Halil Kalesi. Huge jump inside 540 to Diabu. Oh, we see that there was a slight wardrobe malfunction. It looks like his sword may have been caught on his uniform.
Those are typically errors that you don't want to make. And there you have it, Halil Kalaki from Turkey. Nice outside 540 kick, strong landing.
Final score 9.03. Competitor number 31 to enter the arena. 31号上场。
Down.
And up next, we have from Italy. This is Michael Giordano. Michael, actually one of the longer serving athletes on the circuit. Been competing for Italy for quite a number of years.
Halil Kalasi's final score, 9.38.
Michael's done well at the European Championships. Very strong opening. Outside 360.
Single step somersault into double knees.
Leg side down.
It's a very unique move by Michael. Even though it's not counted as part of his difficulty repertoire.
The winner for this bout is Mr. Du from China.
That's a inside kick into a single leg somersault onto a double butterfly stance landing. And final score, 9.61.
First round. Leg side down first. Leg side down first.
And now here we have competitor from the Netherlands. This is Arlene Gerrits. For those of you joining us here, local time is 9:50 a.m. We're here in arena number 2 for the men's Nandao Southern Broadsword event. We have a competitor from the Netherlands, Arlene Gerrits, demonstrating men's Nandao at the 13th World Wushu Championships here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Our current rankings have Malaysia in first place, followed by Taipei, Italy, Canada, and Ukraine. Strong field of competitors with a start list of 40 participants. We're right now on competitor number 24. Arlene steps back as he is waiting for his score. final score for Arlene Garrids, 8.19. And our next competitor,
And of the first round. The winner for the first round is the red side.
our next competitor steps up and prepares. This competitor from Thailand. Had a little trouble on the outside, 540 rotation. Little trouble on the landing.
Leg side down first. Leg side down first.
It's a single leg somersault.
Leg side down first.
Outside 360-degree kick with horse stance landing. But a couple of mistakes cost him. His final score, 9.29. And our next competitor, coming out of Myanmar, this is Tien Tien Ho.
Leg side down first. Down first.
Had some trouble with that single leg somersault. However, in a field such as this, in today's Nandao, the athletes really have to nail all of their difficulty to stand a chance for a top placing.
Leg side down.
Going into the final run. This is Tien Tien O from Myanmar.
End of the second round. The winner for the second
Very nice
round
jump
is
on his
red
outside
side.
540.
The winner is
However, very little room for error in this level of competition in the men's Nandao. His final score is 9.22, getting deducted for that mishap on the single leg somersault, or commonly known as the gainer.
The winner for this bout is Hyun Sung
And next we have one of our former champions Farshad Arabi from Iran participating in the Nandao division. Farshad has always placed well. Very, very strong competitor from Iran. As well represented Iran in both the last few Sport Accord games and as well at the Beijing games. Very solid landing on a single leg somersault. Inside 540 into a single butterfly stance. So as many athletes tend to do, Farshad opts to place most of his difficulty elements right at the beginning section of his routine. Section 2 typically highlights a lot of the speed maneuvers and intricate twining techniques of the Nandao. So inside kick fall or drop kick. And going into his final closing movements, a strong performance by Farshad. And the final score for Farshad Arabi, putting him into a silver medal placing 9.65. And this is Dmytro Kolesnikov from Ukraine. Very solid back somersaults into butterfly kick landing. That's an outside 540 and inside 540. A little tight on the landing there.
Final score 9.48. For the Olympic, Julian Sivan.
The winner for the first round is the left side.
And up next we have competitor from Switzerland, Sami Ben Mohamed.
Red side down first. Red side down first.
unlike the traditional, the broadsword, the southern broadsword requires no restriction in terms of length of sword, but typically you would like the sword to match the size of height of your own body height. The southern broadsword is much thicker in blade, the width of the blade, and was actually a weapon created specifically for wushu sport competition. That's Sammy Mohammed from Switzerland. And the final score for Sammy Mohammed, 9.56, a very strong score. No mistakes in his difficulty. And up next we have Jose Colmenero from Spain.
Red side down west. The winner for the second round is right side. Winner is Israel. The winner for this bout is Abdul Hadi Sofian from Indonesia. The next bout weighs 60 kilograms. In the red side, Francisco Solis from Philippines versus Osman Dolia from Codiva on the red side. The platform judge, Mr. Beckham from
Final score 8.83. Toyota Bani Hassan. Competitor 40 to enter the arena.
first round.
And his final score for Jose Colmenero is 9.27. And we have our next competitor up from Portugal. This is Jorge Ramos. Outside 360 into horse stance landing.
No times out of the platform.
So the traditional moves found in Nantren. And the final score for Jorge is 8.04. And we're coming up to the latter half of our start list here. We have an athlete from Tunisia, Noureddin Smali.
The winner for the first round is red side.
That is Noureddin Smali from Tunisia, completing his performance in men's Nandao Southern Broadsword competition. Coming up to the later half of our event, we still have several strong competitors that we can expect from. Right now, our current leaderboard, we have Malaysia, Man Hua Ho, currently in first place with 9.67, followed by Farshad Arabi from Iran at 9.65, and Po Wei Lai from Taipei with a 9.64. And here we have a competitor from Italy, Arturo Gallo, competing in the 36th spot out of a field of 40. A little bobble on the 540-degree outside kick turn. It's always a landing that gets to a lot of athletes, where we have a bobble on the horse stance landing. Outside 360-degree horse stance landing, followed by inside kick. So like the broadsword, the southern broadsword requires a lot of intricate twining, parrying, flowering. It's a single-sided weapon. So one side of the blade is sharp, and the other being the dull side, or the blocking side of the blade. And as well, even athletes with the malfunction of his belt will most likely have some points taken off of that under his overall performance and technical side. Technically, you should not have your belt so low in that it drags on the floor. And final score for Arturo Gallo is 9.04. And Mara, we're coming up to our final few athletes. We have a Hong Kong athlete next, Chuck Hei Leung. I remember watching him yesterday. He's one of the younger athletes. Very strong, however, yesterday he had a little trouble on his difficulty movements. Let's see how he's doing today. Little bobble on the 540-degree outside kick turn. So again, in this field of competition, you really cannot afford to make any mistakes. You can see in our top 6 athletes, 6 or 7 athletes, no mistakes under difficulties. But a very, very tight range in scoring. With Hong Kong very well known for the quality of its Southern Fist competitors, I'm sure in several years you'll see Chuck Hei Leung develop into a much stronger athlete.
Women's compulsory management. Competitor number 1 to enter the arena. Music grading master, Iha Changha.
We're coming up on the tail end of men's Southern Broadsword. However, we still got some strong competitors coming up.
And the final score for Chuck Hei Leung, 9.36. Again, with that slight miss on his outside kick, that cost him a total of 0.25 in his mark.
And up next from Egypt, Mohammed Abdelrahman.
And Egypt, traditionally a very strong country in the Sanda competition, has fielded quite a strong taolу team in the last several World Championships. They've really upped their game in terms of developing their athletes for high-performance sports in Wushu taolù. We saw that yesterday where Egypt won its first ever gold medal in taolù competition, and that was with their athlete in the Daido, or the traditional Quan Dao event. And now we here have Mohammed demonstrating quite a strong Nandao performance.
Competitor number 1, final score 8.44.
That was Mohammed Abdelrahman from Egypt.
Competitor 3 to enter the arena. Sangha.
End of the second round. The winner for the second round is black side.
There we see Mohammed's jump outside kick into a 540-degree horse stance.
We will continue to the third round.
Jump inside kick 360 into a butterfly single leg knee down stance. And final score for Mohammed, 8.95.
So they missed him on several of his difficulty components, most likely for not making rotation.
And up next we have from Japan, Ryota Mori, who came very close to a podium finish yesterday. He came in 5th place in men's Nantran.
Very strong opening.
The third round.
540-degree outside kick, horse stance landing.
Inside 540.
Good follow through.
Difficult combination, but there was a slight hesitation.
And a single leg landing, so I'm not sure if the judges would have given that to him.
Leg side down. Both sides out of the platform.
And we're coming up now to our final competitor in this Nando event. Final score for Ryuta Mori from Japan. Is a 9.52. So he did get the difficulty.
He got the difficulty.
However, he was deducted for a slight imbalance of his posture.
And our final competitor, a hometown favorite from Indonesia, Harius Horatius.
Rounding up this men's Nando or Southern Broadsword field.
Both sides out of the platform. Both sides out of the platform.
Very tight rotation on that jump inside 540. That's Harius Horatius from Indonesia.
Very strong rotation, strong landing.
The winner for this bout is Ian Sanmato from Macau.
Harius Horatius' final score, 9.63, placing him in 4th overall.
And there we have it, our final rankings for men's Nando. We have Malaysia, Man Hua Ho in gold medal position with a 9.67, followed by Farshad Arabi, 9.65 from Iran. And a Taipei competitor, Po Wai Lai, with a 9.64, coming in the bronze medal position.
Let's close out.
And this is Alan Tang and Mario Martinez completing.
Closing out this morning's event. Please come back this afternoon for our live broadcast. We will be showing women's broadsword, men's Xingyichuan for the first time at the 13th World Wushu Championships, and men's Southern staff in this evening's events in the Field 2 arena.
So a lot of exciting events coming up. Please join us and be sure to follow us on our Facebook page. Any questions that you might have about the competition, if you're new to the sport, learning about it, the rules or regulations, please feel free to post it up on our Facebook page at International Wushu Federation IWUF-official. So again, from the 13th World Wushu Championships here in Jakarta, Indonesia, this is Alan and Mario. We're signing off for this morning's session.
Ladies and gentlemen, awarding ceremonies of the fourth section of 13th World Wushu Championship 2015 are about to begin. We kindly invite Dr. Deputy Governor of Jakarta.
Gearing up here for the first of 4 medal ceremonies on the morning session on day 3 of the 13th World Wushu Championships. 12 medals to be dealt out. Some worthy winners, or some, all of them worthy winners. There will be a newcomer to the World Championship program. Start us off, I do believe, the Bagua Shang. Bagua, it's more commonly known. It's the women coming up to receive their medals. Nice to see some new nations represented among our medalists in this first session on day 3. Session, of course, to come. Don't forget, 2:30 local time here in Jakarta. A second portion of this wonderfully vibrant sport, Wushu. Members of the press, photographers, just taking their positions. A number of dignitaries that will be involved in the medal ceremony also taking their place. And just as importantly, of course, the medalists themselves making their way over to the podium. To be just about ready now. Flags are in place. Bagua, of course, one of the 4 new additions to the program this year. 4 of the traditional Wushu forms making a comeback. I think we have all the ingredients in place. So here come the ladies that came out on top in the women's Bagua. Extremely close competition in the end. 0.03. The difference. We start, we usually do, with the bronze medal, and that went to Sema Urhan from Turkey. well, there was a tie for third place, and on the tiebreaker it was in fact Aga Mohamed Farahat who nabbed the bronze with 9:55. The silver going to Cui Jianxian, 9:56, and our winner from Brazil, Tanya Emi Sakanaka. Tightest of margins for that bronze medal. Seima Urhan losing out in the end on the tiebreak to the North African. 9:57, 9:56, 9:55. That's how tight the final was. Which means, of course, we'll have a new national anthem to listen to. Always nice with a bit of variation. Emotion on the face of our winner, Tanya Emi Sakanaka. That's how much winning a gold medal at the World Championships means to her. And that's the way it should be as well. All the hours of hard work and preparation that have gone in prior to coming to Jakarta have paid off. And now she can relax and enjoy the moments. Wonderful stuff. Congratulations to our other medalists as well. Cui Jianxian and Aga Mohamed Farahat. Medal for Egypt as well. Apologies for getting that wrong. Commiserations though to Seima Urhan. Finished on the same score as the Egyptian, but lost on a tie break. Next up, I believe, will be the men's Dao Shu. Familiar face will take the highest step on the podium. Already won gold yesterday, Vladimir Maximov. Was at it again today. Fantastic performance from the Russian. Dynamic. And the tempo, something to be admired. Really did stand out in today's field. Although the winning margin again, extreme. extremely small, just 0.01 down to our silver medalist.
The awarding for the taolu men's taolu will be presented by Mr. Antonio, the Executive Vice President of International Wushu Federation, accompanied by Mr. Pedro
Anthony Go, Executive Vice President of the International Wushu Federation, places the bronze medal around the neck of Man Pian Nguyen. Another medal for him. Took bronze as well at the Southeast Asian Games this year. Quite a year for him. Silver medalist Seongjae Cho, repeating his performance from the last World Championships. Silver for him, 9.65. And our gold medalist, as I mentioned, Vladimir Maximov, 9.66, so a double for the Russian after taking gold yesterday. There's a high level of performance in the men's Dao. 42 names had initially entered for the events. Did have a few withdrawals, as you always do. A very impressive field. Time then for the national anthem of Russia. Championships he's enjoying. Vladimir Maximov from Russia. Golden memories from Jakarta in Indonesia. halfway there now. We move on with the women's compulsory Nanshan. The compulsory Southern Fist wasn't the biggest of fields. 5 ladies competing in the end. We had 2 withdrawals. Certainly some new nations among the medals. One of the expected favourites that came out on top.
The winners of taolu women's compulsory are pleased to enter the stage.
So here they come then, our medalists in the women's compulsory Southern Fist. Bronze medal on its way to Ukraine, thanks to Tatiana Kondratieva. 8.67. She looked disappointed with her performance. A couple of technical misses, missed on a landing early on in her routine, which cost her. Silver medal going to the USA. Lucy Rushi Lee, 9.16 her score. Young talent who's on the up and up. And the gold medal goes to Australia. World Championship bronze in this event last time out at the World Championships in 2013. And she's improved upon that. Elizabeth Lim, 9.33 her score. And a gold medal this time. Stronger nations not competing in the compulsory events, saving themselves for the optional.
Ladies and gentlemen, this race for the national anthem of Australia.
The Australian national anthem, another new one. A mixture of joy and relief, I'm sure, for the medalists. Over now. They produced the goods when it mattered. Takes us to our last medal ceremony from the morning session here on day 3. By my reckoning, that means the next up should be the men's Nandao. Another huge field, 40 men registered. 7 no-shows in the end. Again, a tight battle for the medals. .02 separating gold from bronze. 0.03, in fact. Take that back.
The winners of taolu and taolу are pleased to enter the stage.
So here we go then. Bronze medalist from Chinese Taipei this time, Ho Weilai. Various dignitaries being used throughout the week here. There he is, our bronze medalist. Ho Weilai, 9.64. Silver medal position, Farshad Arabi from Iran, 9.65. Consistent performer, the Iranian. And the gold medal going to Malaysia and Moonhwa Ho, 9.67, enough to secure the gold on this occasion. Again, another competition brimming with quality. The men's Nandao, as you'd expect at this level. Time to listen to the strains of the Malaysian national anthem. Well, that's the conclusion of the first medal ceremony of the day. Last of the morning session. more medals up for grabs, though, of course, in our second session that gets underway at about 2:30 local time here in Jakarta. So don't miss that. The action coming thick and fast. And we will, of course, be going live with that at 2:30. Don't forget simultaneous feeds from all three mats, the Sandar, the Taoshu 1 and Taoshu 2, available on worldwushu.tv. But from Simon Wilcox, time to say goodbye for now. See you in the afternoon. Bye-bye.